All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today, I have George Goognin with us. He is a board member of the Mile Unity Foundation, which is a public benefit organization aimed to educate governments and private companies on how to use blockchain for the cross-border commodity trade, investments, and money remittance. So welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you, Tyler.
Of course. Grateful to have you on. So, George, the first one I got for you is, what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Oh, if it comes about me, the most interesting is that my first business I have established when I was 9 years old.
Nice. Okay, what was that? What was that business?
I was selling pants on the street in Moscow.
Selling pants or pens?
Pants. You write with the pants.
Got it. Okay, pants. And was it successful, or how did it go?
Oh, yeah, that was very profitable. And, you know, when you're 9 years old and you're coming back to your mom and dad and you're like, look, Mom, Dad, I have a profit. They were like, oh, that's awesome.
Dude.
And that was truly celebration of entrepreneurship in my childhood.
Absolutely, man. That's awesome. Yeah, so you knew young that you were an entrepreneur. That's awesome. Very cool. So the next one I got for you is, what is the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
So basically, I help corporations and government on how to integrate blockchain technologies in their cross-border commodity trade, investments, and money remittance. So, you know, the old banking system is very rigid now, and it's getting harder and harder to use it for the cross-border deals and transactions. There are more regulations and sanctions and trade wars, and our nonprofit foundation helps a lot of people to manage the legal trading of real commodities like rubber tires, oil, gas, corn, whatever. So we help people to drive trade on the global level.
And then what is your best piece of overall business advice, so not necessarily industry specific?
My business advice is very simple and boring, actually. The more successful businessmen I met and the more I talked to them, the key and the secret is very simple. Just work hard and be insistent, and that's it. So there's nothing like the Holy Grail or something like that. So you just gotta work hard every day, wake up early, and work hard, and then after the decades of constantly working and managing your reputation, you will be most probably you will have a success.
And then if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
My advice will be to be more international oriented than I was, because I was mostly focused on the internal inside country market for a long time, and that was my mistake. Because if you have some reputation inside the country but not outside, and it's not public, it's very hard to tell the people in the world that you are the reputable guy and you're trustworthy. So you should make very public and international global experience and projects as early as possible. You should start and jump in as soon as possible.
And then, so kind of going a little bit down a different path here. In your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
Oh, actually, one of my nonprofit projects is the Happiness University. So we do research about what is happiness and how to reach it and how to keep the integral level of happiness as high as possible on a daily basis, constantly. So as for me, the key source of happiness is a making something new every day. It is about being creative. It's about sharing something. It's about create something new and to appear in a new situation and to be consciousness, just to have consciousness, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. And then what is the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
Oh, I think the best book I've read was the Bhagavad Gita. It's a kind of religious book from Asia, from India. And one of the core ideas was like, you just gotta live in a stream of life, and you don't have to stick to your work, to your results or whatever. You just gotta swim in this huge ocean and have some fun and share your happiness with your neighbors, and you will be having a great time here.
And then what is your favorite quote and why?
My favorite quote's actually mostly in Russian, so it will be very hard to translate all the context. Okay, I'll try to remember something in English and more international. Yeah, I think I've already mentioned that the quote from Bhagavad Gita is about don't stick to your work and your and what you're producing and on money. Just be happy and share your happiness with all the people around you.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, thank you so much for coming on. The last one I got for you before we let you go is, where can our audience best find you online?
The best way to find me online is mile, MILE.global. It's the website of the Mile Unity Foundation, and you can find a lot of information about what we're doing.
Perfect. Thanks again for coming on.
Yep. Thank you very much, Tyler.